Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it. Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the street.
Family, what's good? Welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do, family. Brought to you as always. It's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG at JustBlaze513, on Facebook and YouTube. Search Above the Rim Podcast. Also email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. The line is always open. 908-718-1592, family. Best way to support the show, as you already know, is go cop your merch. Link is in my bio. Show some love. I appreciate it, of course. Make sure you leave me your boy a review on iTunes, on Spotify, if you rock with the show. If you're watching on YouTube as well, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, comment, show some love. Tell a friend to tell a friend, family. I appreciate it. I appreciate it as always. Share those vids, family. Make sure you're getting those comments too, because I want to hear your thoughts on each one of these series, not just this preview, on all of the reviews. Next series, Suns versus Nuggets right here. Listen, I'm here in the booth right now. I just watched game 4 of this series. I'm hyped. I can't tell you, I'm hyped right now. Listen, you know this is my favorite series right here. I mean, there's no secret as to why this is my favorite series, and this is exciting me. This has been a great series for me thus far. It's been a real up and down series thus far. The Nuggets took the first 2 games at home. Chris Paul got injured. The shit hurt my heart, but hey, it doesn't matter. No excuses. Like I said before, the Suns took the next 2 at home, and now the series is tied 2-2. Man, so much I have to say on this series. Where do I begin? Some of the stats: Booker's averaging over 36 and 7. KD is averaging over 30 and 10. Ayton is only giving a little bit over 10 and 8. Jokic is averaging over 30 and 17 in this series. Murray over 25 and 7. Aaron Gordon is pitching in 16. There's been a lot of big heavy hitters, a lot of great elite shot making, a lot of elite playmaking in this series. It's a star-driven series, and it has lived up to its bill, right? So much to say on this series. First up, Monty needs to wake up in this series, right? It took you 7 whole playoff games to realize you have more than 7 players on your roster. Play your guys. This is the playoffs. High intensity, fast pace. Players get more fatigued. Play your guys, Monty Williams. You have guys on the bench who can provide meaningful production. Play them. Stop being stubborn in your rotations. So much was talked about the lack of depth for the Suns in this series, but why is that? You don't play the guys. You're not playing TJ Warren. You're not playing Terrence Ross. You're not playing Jock Landale or Love. Look what happens when you play these guys in games 3 and game 4. 2 wins. Guys need a rest. You need some new energy sometimes invoked in off the bench in the middle of a game to keep your team going. It's a long game. It's a 48-minute game. You need a lot of energy in a game, especially in a playoff game, right? You need that. TJ Warren, like I said before, Terrence Ross, Jock Landale has been given quality minutes off the bench. You got to play them, right? The Phoenix Suns are a finesse team. They need somebody to come in there and do that dirty work. So that's why the energy from the bench is so important for this particular team. They don't create enough, the Suns don't create enough ball pressure on their own. Okogie should be picking up full court all game, every time he's in the game. Okogie and Shamet in particular, and Campaign also. Whoever they manage, they should be guarding them full court throughout the entire game. That should be their job, their particular role. Every other team has a guy who dedicates his role to picking up the opponent's best perimeter player full court. The Suns need to have that also. Monty, I need you to make that into the strategy and make sure these guys know that's what you need to do, right? Devin Booker. Devin Booker has gone supernova in this playoffs right here. He's been a man on a mission, scoring at a record pace, right? He scored the most points through the first 9 playoff games since Michael Jordan in 1990. This has been the most focused I've ever seen Devin Booker, especially on the playoff front. Booker has been the best individual player in the playoffs so far, and I don't see any slowing him down. I don't see any stopping Devin Booker. He's been doing it all. He's been scoring. He's been rebounding. He's been assisting. He's been playing defense. He's been bringing that energy. He's been bringing the hustle. He's been bringing the leadership. Devin Booker has been doing it all for the Phoenix Suns, and we have to applaud his efforts on both ends of the court this entire postseason. Not just this series, the entire postseason. So I want to give a major shout out to Devin Booker. If the Phoenix Suns are to win this series, it has to be off your back. You're the guy right now. You're the one in this series that nobody can guard, along with Jokic. Get it done, my brother. You have been excellent in this series thus far. I don't see any reason for you to stop it now. Keep it going. Kevin Durant, he's been good in this series, but he hasn't been great, in my particular opinion. Probably I'm saying that, take that with a grain of salt, because the bar has been set so high for Kevin Durant that it's hard for him to even match the high bar that we even set for him, right? He's hitting so many tough shots, but he's also been defended very well in this series also. Aaron Gordon has been doing an amazing job on him in this series. The whole Denver Nuggets game plan for Kevin Durant has been amazing in this series, and they're doing a great job. You got to give them credit. It's not like we're playing a regular team right here. This is the number one seed in the Western Conference we're playing right here, and a very elite team. So one thing Kevin Durant can improve on in this series is his turnovers. He's averaging over 3 games, so he can clean that up a little bit. I think he's been doing a little bit too much ball handling, but I think he's just pressing a little bit as well, because he wants himself to play better, and he knows he can play better. And even with me saying that, he's averaging damn near over 30 in the series. So even with me saying that, he's getting 30. So that's what I mean about the ball being so high for Kevin Durant, but he's still been great in this series. He's had elite shot making, elite playmaking in this series. His defense has been underrated in this series. He's been a great playmaker, a great rim protector, and a great rebounder in this series, because he's picking up a lot of the Ayton slack in this series, which the Suns needed in this series. So KD has been excellent, and he's been diversifying his impact on the floor for the Suns. Chris Paul, I'm hoping he's back in either Game 5 or Game 6. We're going to see. I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to look out on Twitter. We're going to see a lot of casuals when Chris coming back talking nonsense about Chris Paul, saying that the Suns don't need him, saying that the Suns are better without Chris Paul. It's going to be a casual brigade when they announce when Chris Paul is coming back, because we know they're going to take shots. But real ones know when you watch the Suns, they need Chris Paul to win this series, and they need Chris Paul to win a championship. Everybody on that team needs each other to win, because everybody plays their particular role, right? So Chris Paul coming back, I'm hoping they can get him back in Game 5 and Game 6, and the Suns can really be back to who they are as a complete unit. Pushing the pace, obviously, is a must for the Suns moving forward in this series, as we've seen in Game 3 and in Game 4. Shamet played well also. I want to give him a shout out to Game 4. He played excellent, hit some timely threes. TJ Warren as well. T. Ross also as well. On the Nuggets side in this series, Ayton is getting worked in this series. And we are watching a massacre right before our very eyes with what Nikola Jokic has been doing to DeAndre Ayton. I'm disappointed in myself that I even expected more from Ayton against Jokic. Jokic has been just manhandling DeAndre Ayton. I'm trying to come up with the nice words to describe what the Joker has been doing to DeAndre Ayton. And there's nothing I could come up with. This guy has been eating his dinner in this playoff series. Inside, outside, tough shots, post up, playing at his own pace. Nikola Jokic has been dominant in bringing out all the tricks in his bag in this series. He just hit a 50 ball in this last game in Game 4. He's been unstoppable in this series. He's been doing everything that the Nuggets need him to do in this series. And there's no way to defend him in this series. You just have to take that 50 points from him and hope that the others don't perform as well as he's been performing, because clearly DeAndre Ayton can't guard him at all. Jock Landale, he's been given solid minutes, but he's still getting worked also as well. Nikola Jokic has been shown why he is the back-to-back MVP in this series, and he's been playing phenomenal. I can't say anything about the joke. He's been phenomenal in this particular series. At home and on the road, he's been phenomenal. So he's been doing everything at his own pace, and he's been great in this series. Aaron Gordon, I want to give him a shout out. He's been impressive in this series, I must admit. His defense has been excellent on KD. One of the best defenders we've seen thus far in KD's career guarding him. He's been physical with him. He's been muscling with him. He's been getting a hand up in every one of his jump shots. He's been excellent. His rebounding has also been well for the Denver Nuggets. His physicality has been doing well for the Denver Nuggets. He's been excellent for them. And he's been one of their unsung heroes in this particular series. So shout out to Aaron Gordon. He's been excellent. Also, in that last game, I want to talk about it, but listen, that incident right before halftime in Game 4 with the Joker putting the forearm to the Suns owner, Matt Ishbia. Come on, man. Come on. Let's talk about that really quick. What was that? I know a lot of people are saying the owner was flopping and all that good stuff, but there was a little extra little forearm in that shove. I'm telling you, if you look at the replay, slow it down, there was a little extra oomph in that forearm. And listen, I know the energy. I know the NBA is not going to keep the same energy when it comes down to evaluating the incident, evaluating if Joker should be punished for this. But I'm going to be real. Honestly, if it was somebody else, they would be punished for this. They would maybe be suspended, maybe a game or two, fined heavily. Think about if a guy like Draymond Green did this. A guy with a history like Draymond Green who pushed a fan, let alone a fan, the owner of the team in his own arena. There will be some consequences and some repercussions for that play if that were to happen. So I hope the NBA looks into this. I mean, I don't know if they're going to suspend Jokic, probably because it'll cause an uproar, especially in Game 5 at home if you suspend him. So they probably won't do it because we know the NBA doesn't keep the same energy. But if you look at Jokic, he does have a little bit of history of times of when he gets a little aggravated, he does use a little extra force. Unnecessary force, I should say, against players or whatever. Remember 2 years ago when Jokic played the Suns, when the Nuggets played the Suns, and they got swept up out of here, he got tight that the Suns were sweeping him. So what did he do? He went in, I think he chopped campaign across the face or something like that. He hurt him real bad, and that's when Booker came running in, and that's when Jokic and Booker got into each other's face. Remember when the Nuggets played the Heat against one of the Morris twins, he also gave him something on in the back too with the Morris twins. So we know Joker has a little bit of history of getting a little crazy when he is a little frustrated in the game. So I don't know if the NBA is going to look into that. We're going to see how that goes. But on the basketball side, it's been a phenomenal series. I love the way this series is going thus far. I hope it goes 7. I think it's going to go 7. I'm expecting this series to go 7 games in a classic Wild West shootout. May the best shooter win.